Evening and welcome to Alternative Off-Tuber commentary from the Premier League. I'm Russ Vernon and I'll be guiding you through Crystal Palace against Brighton in the Premier League today. Let's run you through the team news as Crystal Palace made 3 changes to their lineup from the 2-2 draw with Man City on Saturday, with Jefferson Lim and Will Hughes returning to the starting lineup. As Erebiche Eze is on the bench. Jordan Ayew also starts, who was suspended for the game of the Etihad. The 3 players dropping out for Crystal Palace today is the injured Joel Ward, Yara Wiedewoud and Jeffrey Slupp. Wiedewoud and Slupp are on the bench. For Brighton, 18-year-old Jack Isherwood is one of 4 changes for Brighton today, and he returns to the starting lineup against the side. His grandfather Paul played 124 games for across the decade between the 1970s and 80s, and as I mentioned, he's one of 4 changes from Sunday's defeat to Arsenal. João Pedro, Igor Julio and Carlos Baleba also come into the side. James Milner, Evan Ferguson and Adam Lallana were on the bench, while Jo Veltman misses out through injury. We'll run you through the starting lineup in just a second for this game today. Let's just tell you the referees: John Brooks, Lee Best, Akil Housen are the assistants. Simon Hooper, the 4th official, David Coote, if we need him, is on VAR alongside Konstantin Atakis today as well. I'll tell you some history about this fixture as well in a few moments' time as we get ready for kick-off at Selhurst Park in a game which has been dubbed not a derby, which is a derby. Let's just quickly tell you about the table and how these two sides can do. In the table, we can tell you that Brighton with a victory tonight will move above Manchester United, potentially move above Newcastle as well into the top 6, definitely into the top 7. Crystal Palace, on the other hand, they can move into 12th with a victory this evening. It will be Crystal Palace to get us off and underway then, with Michael Elise getting the game off and underway, and he plays it back to Joachim Andersen across to Mark Gaiety, down the line to the left-hand side, and Mitchell. Go through the starting lineups in just a second for you. Anderson has the ball at his feet inside the penalty area, wearing all purple today. Ball long forward up towards the run of the left-hand side. Ayew there, who's playing on the left of the 3 today. Elise is also there. Mateta through the middle for Crystal Palace. So they will through the side in just a moment, which will wait for the ball to go out of place. Gives the ball away as Brighton can now come forward. What can they do with possession? Is a brilliant run from Baleba, who loses out, and now Williams can try and bring this game forward for Crystal Palace. Out to Ayew, who is fouled, is he? No. It's going into the referee, John Brooks, and Brighton have the ball at the back, and they're just passing it around well. There's Lewis Dunk, across to his centre-back partner Van Eck, and he can fetch the ball forward. As Brighton just have the ball at the back of the moment with Lewis Dunk, we'll just quickly run you through the two sides, starting with Crystal Palace, who have Anderson in goal, Klein, Gaiety, Anderson, Mitchell across the back, Lerma, Richards in midfield, Elise, Hughes and Ayew behind. Mateta is the Crystal Palace starting lineup. The bench of Matthews, Tompkins, Wiedewoud, Ozo, Mabada, Slupp, Aboué, Eze and Franca as Brighton player from the back and can try and come forward. Wonderful bit of movement, and Brighton can try and get Gross away, but he can't get him behind, and that's good defensive play there from Crystal Palace as they just tidy up there with Richards knocking it back to his goalkeeper Anderson. Now for the Brighton side then is Verbruggen in goal, Julio, Dunk, Van Eck and Isherwood across the back, Gilmore, Gross, Baleba, Matoma and Adingra in midfield, with João Pedro leading the line. The bench for Brighton is Steele, Milner, Daoud, Lallana, Murder, Welbeck, Ferguson, Buonanotte and Kavanagh. As here is Adingra. Good bit of full work from him for Brighton over on that far side. The right drops it all the way back to Van Eck, who can find Lewis Dunk, who has a captain's armband today for Brighton. 2.5 minutes gone here, remains 0-0, not really missed much as I was giving you the teams there. Mark Gaiety is the captain for Crystal Palace. If you want to get involved with us, you can do so. Tweet us. Commentary Live 1 is the best place to tweet us. on my Twitch channel as well. If you want to tune in there, feel free. You can leave your comments in on there as well, and we'll read them out as well, and you can get your comments in any of the channels I've just mentioned on YouTube as well. As the ball is played forward, Morgetti is there to tidy up as João Pedro closes him down, the former Watford player. Really good start to his spell at Brighton and doing well in your position. João Pedro picking the pocket there of Jefferson Lermo, trying to get the ball wide to the right hand side for Crystal Palace to their left, Brighton's right hand side. And now Brighton just have it at the back with Lewis Dunk in the centre circle onto this left hand side. And I got Julio. A bit of where this from Brighton as they try and get the ball forward. Pedro with a good ball into Pascal Gross, who's got Matoma out wide of him. Matoma into the penalty area for Pascal Gross on the edge of the box. Can he get a striking on goal? He can't. And Crystal Palace just defend well. And then win a free kick, do they know? Comes down to Pascal Gross, who lines up a shot, takes a deflection, and he goes back off of the Brighton player and behind for a goal kick. Now let's just tell you about this issue of this fixture. This is the 101st league meeting between the two sides. Brighton won the 100th meeting 1-0 in March. And two days later, Patrick Vieira was sacked as Crystal Palace manager. Brighton are unbeaten in the last 5 meetings at Selhurst Park in the Premier League, winning 1, drawing 4, their longest unbeaten run at Crystal Palace. And only one of the last 9 meetings was won by the home team. Brighton's won the lone win in the last meeting in March. I will give you some stats to try and test you out on for some of the players today. And one of the two clubs as Isherwood goes down looking for a free kick. Nothing given by the referee, John Brooks, and nothing was worth any free kicks there, in my opinion. Good evening, Paul. Good afternoon to you, my friend. Hopefully you're doing fantastically well wherever you are tuning in from today. I know you're in Canada. Well, good afternoon, good morning, good evening, or good night, depending where people are tuning in from today. You can hear this on all of the channels I mentioned earlier on. I'll remind you of those channels later. João Pedro is flagged for offside. There's Lee Betts puts his flag up on that far side. Getty into Anderson. And now Richards. Down the line it goes on that far side from Mitchell. Who gets the ball back. Mitchell is he going back from Isle there. And now Crystal Palace will just play the ball on the back. They're coming forward now with the right back Nathaniel Klein. Let's take some results for Crystal Palace. 2 draws and then 4 straight defeats for Crystal Palace. Not a good record at Selhurst Park. And there's talks that if Palace lose again tonight, there could be a replacement in for Roy Hodgson, because Roy Hodgson could be considering retiring, but or may wait until the end of the season, depending on what could end up getting sacked as Baleba gets fouled for Brighton there. 0-0 is the scoreline coming up to our 6.5 minutes. Glad to hear you're doing well, Paul. Should be a good one this. Hopefully, Paul, it's not another 0-0 for me, like my last game was between Liverpool and Manchester United. Hopefully today I get some goals in this game, as we see Brighton just trying to build up from the back. Julio, I got Julio drops it all the way back to his goalkeeper, the Bruggen, and can try and fetch this ball away now. Can Brighton and Hove Albion with Dunk to find Julio. I got Julio into João Pedro's, not fouled by the Crystal Palace player, and then Elise wins South winning with Morgetti, who Brighton thought they could have a free kick for a foul by, but it is Nathaniel Klein. Taylor's flowing for Crystal Palace. Coming for 7.5 minutes gone here on the commentary. Russ Vernon guiding you through this Premier League encounter. Sort of a very busy and hectic Christmas schedule. We'll tell you some of the games that we've got coming up for you this weekend for you. There is a game tomorrow night in the Premier League. Unfortunately, we're unable to bring you that one. It's Aston Villa, Sheffield United tomorrow. We're unable to bring you coverage of that one, but we'll have a cup game on Saturday for you. And we'll have a game as well on Christmas Eve, which is Sunday for you. Isn't sure just ties up well there for Brighton, and he does very, very well there, does in Sherwood, to just tied up. And now here comes Billy Gilmore to find I got Julio down the line into Pascal Gross, who came to forward, and he runs down the left side. Out wide, he further goes to Kyle Matoma, goes in field, goes on the outside of Klein, back in to Pascal Gross on the edge of the penalty area, back out to Matoma, back he goes to I got Julio. Julio plays it across into the path there of the midfielder Baleba, who loses out. Well, Lewis Dunk is there to tidy up for Brighton into Igor. And now Igor back to Lewis Dunk. Mateta tries to close him down. We find Van Eyck with comfortable ease. Back he goes now to Verbruggen. 0-0 is the scoreline. If you're just tuning into us, coming up towards 9 minutes gone. In the Premier League, Crystal Palace 0, Brighton 0 in the... Some people don't says it's not a derby, but it's classed as the M25 derby, from what I've been told in the build-up to this game. Crystal Palace against Brighton, fierce rivalry between the two fan bases. And it remains 0-0. Back he goes into the path of Henderson, who can play it across to the far side. There in Gertie, who switch the play into Jefferson Lerma. Heads it back into the path of Joachim Anderson. Now Lerma again. Down the line he goes to Nathaniel Klein. Back into Anderson, who gets for the first time into Michael Eliseus. Brought down there by Baleba. And it's a free kick to Crystal Palace, which Elise will look to take. He goes back into Richards and across into Mark Gertie, the captain. Out wide to Mitchell. Back into Gertie again. England international now, Mark Gertie. Being called up for the last couple of England squads, which is good to see another product of the academy setup getting brought into the senior squad. That's a wonderful ball from Elise out wide to Ayo. Ayo delivers a cross in towards the penalty area. It's too easy and too near. Verbruggen there and claimed it well in the end. Yes, it was a snore draw, Paul, but somehow I managed to make it very, very exciting. Let's hope I don't need to do that again today. Please, Palace and Brighton. Plenty of goals, please. Or even if it's just for one side, I don't mind. I've just go 2 games in a row with commentaries that I've done with them being goals. As João Pedro goes down, no free kick on for a foul there on João Pedro. He looks towards the referee as Crystal Palace just going with the game as Richards picks up the ball into Hughes, back into Richards. Now Gertie, who Pedro thought had fouled him, into Irwin. Now he gives the ball away to Matoma. Brighton can capitalise if they can play this right. Gilmore gives the ball away. And now Palace give the ball away again. Ayo this time again giving the ball away. It's not like Ayo that to give the ball away twice in quick succession for Crystal Palace. It remains Crystal Palace 0, Brighton 0, coming up towards 12 minutes. Got it on the commentary of Russ Vernon to guide you through the action today. Wonderful bit of play in Sherwood out wide. It goes. Adingra, edge of the penalty area. Comes into Van Eyck. And now Crystal Palace break out if you can play this right. Mateta does well. Jean-Philippe Mateta, who can come over halfway on the left hand side. Back he goes there. Now Ayo inside to Hughes on into the path of Lerma. And a wonderful pass into Michael Elise inside. Also inside the penalty. Pulls the ball across. Can't get there. Comes to Ayo inside the penalty on the back post. And he goes behind for a goal kick in the end. And he wouldn't sit kindly inside the penalty after Elise. Michael Elise broke in. Onside as well, Michael Elise. He just won 4 for Mateta coming into the back post. And he won just 4 for Ayo either on the rebound. But that's good play again from Crystal Palace. Ball in Van Eyck's poor clearance. wasn't being able to be capitalised on there by Crystal Palace. As now Matoma picks up the ball. Wonderful bit of play from Crystal Palace. Here's Billy Gilmore. Now Brighton can come forward on that far side. As there is Belabor. Good bit of good work. This ensured was out there too. What can Brighton do here now? Van Eyck into Gilmore, into Belabor. Belabor wins a free kick, fouled in there. Takes it quickly to Gilmore, spreads the ball brilliantly. Alright to Kyle Matoma. Down the line, it goes into Pascal Gross. Back into Kyle Matoma. Matoma loses out. Can Palace come away with the ball? Limmer 2 gets it away by Nathaniel Klein's help. Down the line it goes. There's a free kick foul on the way, stunk by Jean-Philippe Mateta, who can feel very hard done by, in my opinion. So I didn't think that was a free kick there to Brighton Hove Albion. But Brighton's European adventures made a bit of dent into their Premier League runs this season, who knows? But so far so good in both competitions. Into the last round of the next stage of the Europa League campaign. After being in Europe for the first time in quite a while for Brighton Hove Albion. As Klein takes the throw into Joachim Andersen, and he can try and come forward now for Crystal Palace. From the back. Can they get a goal in? No, the ball is hit forward over the top from Andersen, and he runs honestly out of play for a goal kick to Brighton. 14.5 minutes gone. It's still 0-0, but in the opening 0-0 minute, this game is a lot more exciting than Liverpool and Manchester United, in my personal opinion. Some of you may not agree with that, but we've seen some good movement off the ball from both teams, trying to create stuff, but just off working in clicking for the both teams at the moment. Sometimes they're getting the ball away too cheaply as well, but some of the build-up play when they can get in behind the both opposite, when both teams can get behind their opposite numbers, it's showing some good new football. As here comes Brighton this time, and fantastic bit of play there from Belabor. And now Brighton can come forward here now. Brighton have done most clean sheets in senior league history for the first time since September 1947 to March 1948. What a statistic that is 21 games without a clean sheet for Brighton. Back in that September to March 47 to 48 was 20s. Brighton inside the penalty area now with Pascal Gross, who does well. Finds Kyle Matoma. Matoma in towards the penalty area again. Wonderful play. Can Gross get there again this time? Matoma. Good work from Brighton. Igor Julio can come forward. Into Dunk. Julio again. Brighton just knocking the ball around well. It means Brighton, Crystal Palace, no Brighton, if you're just tuning into us here on the country. We're also live on the country up to JB Sports. And my personal Twitch channel, Russ P. Vernon _92, and also the brilliant Focus on Football as well. Over on YouTube, as is Van Eyck, who can drop the ball back, all the way back, in fact, to Verbruggen, and Brighton can start again. It remains 0-0 in the game at Selhurst Park. With the comments of Paul James there in a second, as Brighton conceded win yet another free kick foul by Ayew on a Dingra. Inshaw takes the free kick quickly to Van Eyck and across into the path of Lewis Dunk, who can try and fetch this ball forward. Kyle Matoma, he does really, really well. Belabor across to Van Eyck and across now to Lewis Dunk inside the centre circle, inside his own half. I went to this left hand side and Igor was just a couple of yards inside from the touchline. But Toby seems to be the one who hugging the touchline on the left hand side. On the right, hugging the touchline seems to be Ishelwood, who's supposed to be playing in defence today, but he looks like he's playing as a wing back. There's that brilliant ball in towards Ishelwood in the back post. And the dink was there! Fantastic! And that's Pascal Gross. And then Baleba just wide. Good effort from Brighton. Just can't keep the door from opening at the moment. Can't just open the door this moment in time. Came out brilliantly to Adingra. Fantastic effort. Then Baleba sliced his effort, which went the wrong side of the post in the end. And it remains Crystal Palace 0, Brighton 0. And what a good start to this game. Be interesting to see how this game unfolds. Sam Adingra, 5 goals, 3 assists this season in the Premier League for him. 8 goal contributions for him as well. 0-0 is the scoreline. Here is the ball forward as Matoma tried to get a break on for Brighton. Richards is there now for Crystal Palace. Can't pick out Mateta. Pedro into Pascal Gross, who can get Matoma away if he can keep this in. Matoma, can he keep this ball in? He can. But then gives it away to Crystal Palace. That's good defensive play there from Joachim Andersen. Just keep the ball in and just he gives the ball back to Brighton, which means the pressure will remain on the Crystal Palace goal. What can Brighton do here with possession? Igor now gets the ball forward. Wonderful bit of footwork. Good play from Igor into Lewis Dunk. Good work. Gilmore back to Dunk again. And now Igor again. Good play this from Brighton. 20 minutes gone, still 0-0. And really, as the ball's back with the Buggen, can read the thoughts of Paul James from a few moments ago. He says, it's early days in a derby, so it's going to be tight. It's not been bad so far. And yes, I understand where you're coming from. It's not been bad so far. It remains Crystal Palace 0, Brighton 0. If you just tune into us here on the commentary, Baleba closes down as Elise tries to come away with it. And now Brighton have got the ball back. Igor's there to win possession back for Brighton. Good play from him into Van Eyck. Out wide to the left hand side. And Ishelwood. And there's Adingra. Ishelwood and Adingra is lost out. Ishelwood almost got the ball back. But Brighton being forced. What foul will use there, and that's a free kick. He's trying to he's talking to his teammates, trying to tell them what he wants them to do so he can play to them. And they don't seem to be listening at this moment in time. Remains 0-0, 21 minutes gone here. And we've yet to have a clear shot on target from Crystal Palace. We've had one from Brighton, but we've not had one from Crystal Palace yet, which I'm a bit surprised by with them being the home side. We'd expect them to take the initiative and try and create something. And maybe don't want to leave it 2 gaps as the form book generally does go out of the window on Derby Day. Certainly did when Manchester United and Liverpool played on Monday. Everyone was expecting a Liverpool win and a hammering of that, but it wasn't to be for Jurgen Klopp's side. Brighton 0-0 against Crystal Palace. Brighton 0. Brighton come out from the back. What can they do here now? Let's go as far as Matoma. Wonderful run from Kyle Matoma. Can he get in towards the penalty? He can. Still going Kyle Matoma. Loses out as Klein can clear the ball away to Elise. And now Crystal Palace can break. Good end-to-end stuff here now. Elise up towards halfway. Into Mateta. Back into Elise, who's onside. We'll continue his run down the right-hand channel. Gets into the penalty area. onto his left foot, onto his right foot. Trickery, step overs. Crossing with his left foot is blocked. Klein just keeps the ball in. He wants to keep the ball in, to keep this game moving. Leaves it back to Klein, and now Anderson is going forward. Crystal Palace are forcing Brighton back on the back foot at this moment in time, and I'm surprised that Crystal Palace are pushing the two centre-backs up further up the field when their full-backs are pushed up. Brighton get hold of the ball here. One of these attacks that could break very, very quickly, and everyone is inside the opposition's half. But his will use. Can he create a bit of magic and try and force Crystal Palace into a good first shot on target? To me, at this moment in time, I can't remember a shot on target for Crystal Palace. Remains 0-0. Elise's ball towards Gay is over 8, and now will use us to get around the corner there for Ayo. And now Ayo holds up the player well. Now back with Margate again, who can bring this game forward. What can they do with the possession-wise? In Crystal Palace, Gay can play the ball forward into Ayo. Ayo does well. Holds up the play. Goes down. Free kick given. Foul by Inshelwood, which is not good to see. Herald, we can't show the game, my friend, due to copyright restrictions. Otherwise, we get taken down. You can listen to the commentary here as Yorkie Madison continues from the centre back, rolling towards Mateta inside the penalty area. Cross just in the back of Mateta, and then the striker couldn't find where he would be. It remains Crystal Palace 0, Brighton 0, coming up towards 25 minutes played in the first period of this game. Still no score yet, if you just tuned into us. Unfortunately, due to broadcasting restrictions of the Premier League, who own the rights to the footage of the match that we're watching, and which is distributed out to TV companies around the world and in the UK and as well. And now Crystal Palace have just done some fantastic defending there, which is a Brighton man being in on the left hand side with Matoma there, but Brighton with Anderson to Leeson. Matoma's in there again, snapping in there, trying to get the ball back, and it remains 0-0. Interesting to see how this second half, how the rest of this first half plays out, as we just see Jefferson Lemon just twist the way that I went down off the ball, which I didn't notice initially with a challenge with Inshelwood. So I'm surprised the referee or official or even the linesman on that far side didn't see anything to warrant a free kick, especially the official when he was looking directly at it. It remains 0-0 there between Crystal Palace and Brighton. Brighton in the change strip of green and black shirts, white shorts, white socks. Crystal Palace in their traditional red and white shirts. And here they come. Here is John Philly Mateta. Mateta! Straight down the throat of the goalkeeper. The Bruggen there, and I thought for a moment I was going to get my first goal. Great first touch out of his feet from Mateta, and his effort was just too comfortable in the end for the Bruggen there. As now Brighton will try and force a save out of Henderson, who is yet to have a save to make. Henderson here, as he just clears this one ball forward, and now Billy Gilmore from Argos knocked down. They can try and fetch this ball forward. Here's Inshelwood, who will look to come forward at every available opportunity for him and for his side. As Matoma, can he get there? Can he get there, shall I say? Elise there to try and fetch this ball away. And it breaks for a throw into Brighton. Oh, Elise just put it through the legs there a couple of moments ago, as Brighton tried to come forward. Klein just tried to hack it further down the field instead of letting it go down where it did go out. Igor takes a quick throw in and he drops it all the way back to Lewis Dunkel, can try and find a way forward. And here comes Gilmore to try and get this ball moving forward and try and bring the opening goal of the Givers. Crystal Palace win them. Consider free kick by Labour, fouled in there by Mateta, who will go into the referee's notebook here. I think he has Jean-Philippe Mateta goes into the referee's notebook. I'm not sure if it was for dissent or whether it was a free kick. In fact, it wasn't. Yes, I did say it was Mateta right. I thought it might have been for talking back, time wasting, or how to make a substitute. Van Eyck has been called over as well as Baleba. Looks like we just do this again from Baleba, who just went in very, very late tonight there. And that is a bad challenge. He could potentially be called a day for that, in my opinion, but the referees let him off. Still 0-0 between Crystal Palace and Brighton. It's really brought down by Michael Elise into the path of Nathaniel Klein. Back into Elise once more. Joachim Anderson can get this ball forward. But there's a slip there from Richards. And now Crystal Palace have to get back in numbers to force Brighton to go backwards, because the counter-attack was on then for Brighton if they'd have been able to play the ball right and play that counter-attacking right. Here is Adingra who can get the ball forward. Here's Billy Gilmore. Good bit of footwork. Belabor out wide. Good bit of work in towards the penalty area. Still going. Adingra puts the ball back. Now Pedro's in there. The free kick has been given. I think it's for handballing, and then rather than the foul, because I couldn't see where the foul was in there. Just to tell you what we've got coming up on the channel then. At the weekend, we've got Premier League football for you Saturday and Sunday. Liverpool against Arsenal on Saturday. 5:5 on air from join Paul James and the gang for that one. Then on Christmas Eve, a very special game in the Premier League. First was the 1995-96 season. When Leeds took on Manchester United and won 3-1. We'll have Wolves against Chelsea on Christmas Eve for you. Christmas Eve footy. One more do you want? Or one more can you want, shall I say? As it is a free kick. The foul on Will Hughes, as we were just telling you about the games that we've got coming up on the channel. And another booking here, this time for Brighton player, which is Belabor, who's gone into the book here now, and he's a bit bewildered why he's given that as a free kick. Because Belabor was just sat there and looking at what options he could have done there and whether he could have got out of the way. What can Crystal Palace conjure up in this final few minutes of this first period? It means Crystal Palace 0, Brighton 0. Can they get the opening goal here? At least they stood over the free kick. Hughes on the edge of the penalty area. Inside the box, there's Richards, Anderson, Lerma, Ayew. He's out to Hughes on the edge of the penalty area. How wide it goes to Igor. Good play from Igor down the line. Will he go? He did, but he didn't get played him down there. He's put behind for a corner. Inshulwood wasn't taking any chances there as the ball was whipped into the penalty area. In fact, it was Van Eyck. Well, the slightest of touches deflected behind the goal and for another corner. And this time, Elise will come across to this right-hand side. Most goals conceded this season. Burnley and Sheffield United on 6, Bournemouth on 5, Brighton on 4. Elise with the corner flipped in, and wooden drop for Crystal Palace playing inside the penalty area, and they was unable to profit from that. It remains Crystal Palace 0, Brighton Hove Albion 0. And he bounced all the way through into the path of Verbruggen. Verbruggen set Brighton away and kind of on that far side. As that's brilliant bit of play. Cross ball into us, Pascal Gross, who just had to slip and miss it there. Here's Michael Elise now to drop the ball back to Nathaniel Klein, and now Brighton will have to force Crystal Palace into making some errors if they are to find what the other cards that we're looking for. Potentially Faust Millers and Mateta's inside the penalty area, and Mateta's won the ball back brilliantly against Doug, puts the ball in towards the penalty, first round ball in there, Mateta's in again. The fans are looking for potential handball in there, but no handball for me. That's what the fans are wanting. It remains Crystal Palace 0, Brighton 0 as this comes Joachim Andersen who can get this ball forward. Will use. Some of the players will be up in the only colours they get this time of year is the Christmas ones. No, the yellows and reds of the match officials. We'll have to wait to see if there's any more bookings being branded out by John Brooks tonight. It remains 0-0 as João Pedro goes down under a challenge there of Richards, nothing given as Crystal Palace can fetch the ball forward. Here's Mateta was onside. Jean-Philippe Mateta onside and as well. Fantastically well, in fact. Nathaniel Klein. Good bit of play as Crystal Palace just still coming. Richards gives the ball away this time though, but he nips in and wins it back. Jean-Philippe Mateta to the penalty area. How wide he goes brilliantly. And now, what can they do? Whips the low cross in. Comes out. And Mateta's there, breaks again. Mateta. Elise shot his blocked. First round ball, nothing given. Klein. How wide he goes to Elise. Michael Elise coming forward. He goes down. Is it a free kick? Free kick to Brighton. And I'm unsure how that is a free kick to Brighton because, in my opinion, Elise is the one that's been fouled there. Just looking at this again, that's Elise's shot. He's blocked. Comes out here now to Klein. How wide? To over us. Not able to see that replay again. We're just seeing that ball in towards the penalty again. Pierce van ball in there twice by the Crystal Palace fans. Nothing given. Then they're appealing for a third time, and that third one was definitely not an handball, I can assure you. The first one wasn't either. Well, not first. Second one wasn't either. Because of where she were laid. Or where they were laid on the floor, should I say. It remains 0-0 in this game between Crystal Palace and Brighton Hove Albion. 36 minutes gone on the clock as Brighton will try and get this ball forward. Here's Billy Gilmore inside the penalty area. Centre circus Waller. Here's Igor out wide to Matoma. Down the line he goes looking for Pascal Gross. Gilmore again. Rolling towards the penalty area this time. And he's cleared away. Brighton were looking to get the ball forward and in towards the penalty area. But now Palace can try and break with Io. He's got one of his shoelaces on his boots undone there, but he's not spotted just yet. Will use. And that wasn't a question of asking, will use notice? Will use had possession then for Crystal Palace. Here is Gertie back. It goes to Henderson who can try and fetch this ball forward. It remains 0-0 as Crystal Palace give the ball away. And both teams have been guilty of giving the ball away in around their own inside their own half and sometimes near their own penalty areas. But not being able to take advantage today in near the team when the oppositions give the ball away in dangerous areas. And I don't really think we've had many shots on target in this first half. I can't recall any major shots on target over the ones that happened very early on in this game. It remains 0-0 in this game, though. As now here comes Matoma. What can Kyle Matoma do? Pushing towards the penalty into Yao Pedro edge of the box. Yao Pedro still going. Goes down on the edge of the penalty. There's a free kick in there. Nothing given. And now Brighton will come again. Adingra out wide. Good bit of play from Adingra. Ball in towards the penalty area. It's cleared away. And here's Ayew, who can fetch this ball away for Crystal Palace. And be interested to see how he does if he can get this ball forward. Remains 0-0 here on the Common Job JB Sports. Also on Storm. Unable to be on Storm FM tonight. We'll focus on football though tonight, as ever. Brilliant working alongside the Focus on Football team to bring you this game. We can keep you up to date. With that, and here comes Michael Elise, who can bring this ball forward for Crystal Palace. Elise one way. He's got limit in the pull the ball. Of course, Mateta couldn't reach it. And this time it was straight into the arms of the goalkeeper, Verbruggen, and that's good play again from Crystal Palace. Down the left hand side this time, low ball in, and it's claimed well. See this ball coming forward with Brighton at the back with Dunk into Van Eyck, who can fetch his ball forward. Here's Igor. Now Pascal Gross can fetch his ball forward. Good play into Kyle Matoma. What can Kyle Matoma do now? Cuts inside. Kyle Matoma going one way. Now goes on the outside. Almost slipped over the ball, but it's still going. It's easier for Pascal Gross to it. Fantastic save from Henderson. Good effort. And he's put out for a throw-in. I think Matoma was too slow there to have a striker goal. No, to keep the ball in, strike a goal. And I think if Brighton did that earlier, the striker goal from Pascal Gross may have troubled Henderson a bit more. But it remains 0-0 running towards the final 5 minutes of the first half as they try and get the ball forward. Here's Pascal Gross now. Wonderful bit of play down the line. He goes to Matoma, back into Pascal Gross. Takes the deflection off Will Hughes out for a throw-in. Kyle Matoma will look to takes it quickly to Igor, shouting for it. Igor has possession now for Brighton to Billy Gilmore. What can Gilmore do now? And they try to fetch the ball forward. Here's Dunk. And now it remains 0-0 between Crystal Palace and Brighton Hove Albion here on the Common Chub. Also live on JB Sports. Focus on Football, TC Up 2, my personal Twitch channel as well. Wonderful bit of play. The ball is in towards the penalty area. Breaks away with Elise, who can't keep the ball in play. He can only concede a throw-in. Igor Jonathan and takes it quickly to Gilmore. Back he goes now into the back of the way. Dunkers. He will try and come marauding forward from the back. It remains 0-0 between Crystal Palace and Brighton so far. And yes, Paul, it was a good save from Henderson a few moments ago. What can Brighton do now? Adingra in towards penalty, in towards Yao Pedro. Pedro keeps the ball in back to Adingra. Can Adingra keep the ball in play? He can't this time. And he just keeps ball into advertising all his in frustration there, and he remains 0-0. Couple of bookings so far. One types of cards that Mateta and Baleba are wanting this time of year. With Hodgson there on the sidelines. We'll give you a teaser now. Give you the answer after the. Give you the answer just before we go for the half-time interval. I want to ask you a question, sir. And I'll do this after this attack from Crystal Palace if we can place right by the counting back with Bruggen, who's in goal here for Brighton tonight. Tonight is Roberto De Zerbi's 50th game in Premier League game in charge of Brighton Hove Albion. His first was at Liverpool in October 2022. But what was that final score? What was the score between Liverpool and Brighton in October 2022, which was Roberto De Zerbi's first game in charge of Brighton? If you think you know the answer, let us know, and we'll read out the answer just before half time. So you've got about a couple of, just under 2 minutes to get your, maybe a bit longer. We'll say under about 5 minutes or so potentially, maybe even less, depending. There's not been that many stoppages in this first half. As here comes Brighton, can they play well? They can. Gross does well. Here comes Igor now into Gilmore, who was almost left a bit slack in there. A bit like luster, really. Gilmore looked there a bit rusty. Supposing towards the penalty. Can I get it there on goal? Can't. Sherwood was coming in. I want to know, what was the score between Liverpool and Brighton in Roberto De Zerbi's first game in charge in October 2022? And no cheating, please. I'll give you till the half-time whistle blows, and I'll give you the answer just before I go for my half-time interval. 0-0 between Crystal Palace and Brighton, still awaiting our first meaningful attack from either side. Been some decent efforts, but none worthy of probably beating the keeper, apart from that one which Ensign made the save look relatively easy. It's Ayew. He leaves the ball in, it goes all the way across to the from one side of the pitch to the other, and Brighton can try and fetch this ball away, can they? They can do now, as here comes Pascal Gross. Good bit of work to find Lewis Dunk. Back into Pascal Gross again, inside to Verbruggen. Verbruggen almost giving the ball away, and he does give the ball away to Elise. It's for Hughes. Back to Michael Elise. Inside the penalty. Elise scores for goal. And then back pass. It's in! Crystal Palace have scored! Oh! In first half stoppage time. Gives Crystal Palace a lead. They're being punished for the goal. Paul thinks he knows the answer to the question I posed. But does he know the answer? I'll give it out just at half time. Well, that's a fantastic ball in at the back post from Elisa Ayew attacking it. And there is the opening goal of the game. It's not goalless anymore. And that goal for Crystal Palace had been coming. They've been growing in confidence in the last 5 to 10 minutes. And Ayew, unmarked to the back post, stoops to head it home and give his side a 1-0 lead, which sees Crystal Palace fans jumping up and down and singing glad all over with it as he makes it 1-0 with his second goal in the Premier League season. What a goal as well. What a cross from Michael Elise, who's been brilliant tonight for Crystal Palace on that right-hand side. He's caused a number of problems every time he's got forward. And Ayew at the back post, unmarked, was just like, thank you very much. A minute of stoppage time has been added. We've played over that minute there, but we'll wait and see how long the referee will give it after that goal there from Crystal Palace. I'll play for a throw-in. Mateta will leave this for his left back to come up and take it. Will he? Mitchell. No, the half-time whistle has gone. And Crystal Palace lead by a goal to 0. Late goal from Ayew, the difference. At the break. Good finish, Paul. Very nice finish, wasn't it, Paul? Brilliant header by Ayew at the back post to give Roy Hodgson inside the lead against Roberto De Zerbi in his 50th game in charge. And fantastic bit of play from both sides. Just like a bit of quality in the final third until that cross from Michael Elise, which pinged onto the head of Jordan Ayew to give Crystal Palace a lead at half time. But the answer to the trivia which I gave you, and listen now, any point during the second half, I'll give you another one. But Roberto Zerbi is took charge of his 50th Premier League game with Brighton tonight. His first was in October 2022 at Liverpool. What was the final score? The answer I was looking for was the final score of 3-3. Congratulations to Paul James, who got that one spot on. But right now, we're going to leave you as we go and have our half-time break. And at half-time, it is Crystal Palace 1, Brighton Hove Albion 0. Can we see more goals in the second half? Will we see more goals in the second half? We'll have to wait and see. From all the team here. Right, we go for a break. It's Crystal Palace 1, Brighton Hove Albion 0. Welcome back to the Premier League coverage of the Premier League, unofficial coverage from the Premier League. It's Crystal Palace who lead Brighton by a goal to nil, and Roberto De Zerbi in his 50th game in charge has seen enough. There's been a couple of changes at half time for Brighton. Coming off is number 24, Adingre, who's been replaced by number 18, Danny Welbeck. And number 20, Carlos Baleba, will be replaced by number 40, Facundo Buonanotte. For Brighton, that's two changes. And Baleba, for me, probably one of the right decisions that the Roberto De Zerbi has made, due to the fact he's on a yellow card, just waiting for the football to have at João Pedro's feet, which it has done now, and we'll get ready to get the second half off and underway. We're now back underway in the second period as Brighton get us off and underway. So Pascal Gross plays it across to Igor. Now he can Brighton, who can try and get this ball away. What can they do here? Kyle Matone back to Igor once more, as Igor will look to find a teammate in Lewis Duncan running through the sides very shortly at the start of this second period, as here comes Ian Sherwood, who's been forced back by the goal scorer Jordan Ayew. And now here they come, as Brighton will just try to fetch this ball out from the back. What can they do with the ball? Plays it into Gilmore, who can get João Pedro away, but he can't keep the ball in play, because out for a throw that's running through the Crystal Palace side is Anderson in goal, Klein, Anderson, Getty and Mitchell across the back, Lerman and Richards in midfield, with Elise, Hughes and Ayew just behind young Philippe Mateta in the Crystal Palace starting lineup. On the bench, Tompkins, Eze, Franca, Schlupp, Aboué, Adama, Matthews, Riedewald and Oza. Moving through the Brighton side in a second, as here comes Michael Elise for Crystal Palace. Good footwork. Can they do it again? How wide is Tyreek Mitchell now? Down line into Michael Elise. It's a bounce area. Shot is blocked. When they come behind for a corner, a good start to take it off by Crystal Palace. In the opening 90 seconds of the game, it means Crystal Palace 1, Brighton Hove Albion. Now let's run quickly through the Brighton side, and it's Verbruggen who starts in goal. The back four from right to left of Isherwood, Benek, Dunk and Igor. Buonanotte, Gilmore, Welbeck, Gross, Matoma and João Pedro. Crystal Palace still the corner towards the penalty. He goes up into the air. Gay challenges Fritz. Lemmer's in there too. Gay wins it again. Comes out to the goal scorer Isles. Just flagged offside there. The subs for Brighton now is Milner, Daoud, Lallana, Moura, Steele, Ferguson and Kavanagh. All the men on the Brighton bench, as we see the ball in there. It's offside up against, for me, up against Mateta, and he didn't even go anywhere near Mateta. So, I'm sure that was flagged offside. Here comes Spurs again, Mateta. See, Tito Blenner across towards the back post. Michael Elise can get there and keep the ball in play. And he can do it. Elise with the cross in. Takes a deflection. Will Hughes being held. Manhandle then it's Alabama. Nothing given from the referees. Vanek looked to have been holding on to Pascal Gross looked to be holding on to Will Hughes. Will Hughes holding on to Pascal Gross. 6-1 does on the other. Nothing too untoward with that there. So the game will play on. After seeing it again, I didn't think he wasn't a foul there, but first viewing looked a foul. Ayew is cleared by Buonanotte there, who goes down. Facundo Buonanotte, that is. It remains Crystal Palace 1, Brighton Hove Albion 0, if you're just tuning into us here on the commentary. But late goal in the first half from Jordan Ayew, set up by Michael Elise with a fantastic cross and a good diving header, in the back post. There will be a trivia question in the second half. At some point, we'll let you know how that is, and I'm good. I'll probably ask you. looking for Will Hughes. They're holding back Pascal Gross and tripping him up. And then he couldn't find a teammate there after being tripped there and being held back. Stressing on his feet, trampling over the top. Referee's brought it back, and it's a free kick to Brighton, booking confirmation on the screen on my monitor for Will Hughes. What can they do here now? Free kick for Brighton, whipped in towards the penalty area. Good chest down from João Pedro's put behind. It will be a corner. And just trying to work out what to next trivia question to give to you. Watch this one here. Corner whipped in. Edge up. Welbeck is there. Back in. Still in the penalty. Edge up again. Pedro helped it in and is saved this time by Henderson. Now I'm going to ask you a question here now. Guys, again. Roy Hodgson has took charge of 9 meetings against Brighton as a manager, in charge of Crystal Palace, and he's won 3, drawn 3, lost 3. Mateta almost gets in there, but Verbruggen does well to claim it at the end there. He's also had 1 defeat in those 10 managerial meetings with Brighton. I want to know who Hodgson was in charge of when that defeat happened, and João Pedro fires a shot just over the bar from just the edge of the penalty area. So the question again, Hodgson has managed against Brighton 10 times. 9 of those meetings have been in charge of Crystal Palace. Who was the other game against? Who was the other game that Roy Hodgson was managing when he took on Brighton? You'll have to think back to his managerial career, see if you can get that one. As the ball is played forward and to go up. And now Welbeck wins the head. A brilliant bit of play. Danny Welbeck again. Still going Danny Welbeck. How wide it goes from Brighton as they try and come forward now. Here is Pascal Gross. Good bit of work into Billy Gilmore. Gilmore into Facundo Buonanotte. Goes down on the challenge of Jefferson Lim. A free kick it is. Look with a guess in there. See if Paul can get it correct before we reveal the answer. I'll reveal the answer on the 58th minute. And I'll post another teaser on the 35th minute. Let's see what comes from this free kick. In towards the penalty for Pascal Gross's free kick. Over it and behind for a goal kick to Crystal Palace. It remains 1-0 to the hosts. Anderson to tear this free kick in long forward. Looking for the head of Ireland. Maneki's there to win it ahead of him, and now Buonanotte can come forward. Facundo Buonanotte is fouled as if from behind by Mitchell. He is. That's a yellow card here. Will it be for Mitchell, or is it for Richards here? Mitchell with the book in there. And Richards got booked early on, and the referee wasn't sure whether it was Richards or Mitchell who made the challenge there. So I think he was having a bit with the fourth official, potentially VAR as well. Oh my word! Pascal Gross's delivery in. Lewis Dunk's header. How has that not gone in? Fantastic free kick again. And just wide from Lewis Dunk. Threading around the back. Probably would have been disallowed, I would have thought for a push. I know Kim Anderson only feel I would have disallowed it for that push there. It remains 1-0 Crystal Palace as Welbeck as well. In Sherwood for Welbeck. Okay, to Sherwood. Sherwood goes, push it wide. Goal kick has been given, but referee is saying wait. Well, goal kick is taken. I think VAR will check this. John Brooks has told him to it. I think VAR will check if this is going to be a penalty kick. I don't think it should be. Is this a penalty? He kicks the ground. No penalty for me there. Correct call from the referee. John Brooks is on the field. Throw now for Palace, which will be taken by Mitchell. Long throw looking for Mateta. Brighton just managed to clear. João Pedro does well. Will Hughes does well to nip in and win it back. Mateta's there again. Lerma out wide to Michael Elise. Down the line is John Philip Mateta inside the penalty now. Mateta pulls the ball back in. Waits for Lerma. Brighton just managed to get a footing and clear. And they can clear again and can counter. If they can wear this right, it's João Pedro can break. And can't get Mateta away, but that's a good bit of defensive recovery from Nathaniel Klein to try and get the ball away. And he clears the ball away out to João Pedro. And now here come Brighton again. They seem to be more up for it now. More shots in the second half than Crystal Palace. Or yet to have a shot in the second half. It's been all Brighton in terms of shots. And they could have a fifth one here if they can put this right. And on target though for Brighton's other 4 shots. If there's no shots on target, they're not going to score. As Michael Elise can come forward. Brilliant bit of footwork from the winger. The tricky winger who gets first Igor, but then Igor pulls him back. It's a free kick. And the Palace players wanted a yellow card for Igor. And he gets it. And that's the free kick in the end. Yes, I noticed that looking. I noticed that he slipped first there. I go with the book in there though. It remains 1-0 to Crystal Palace. What can they do here? Elise with the free kick. Towards the penalty, again attacking it. João Pedro attacks it. Brighton clears it. Up towards halfway where Matoma can chase after it. And Brighton pickpocketed Elise's Buonanotte can break. Couldn't have Buonanotte. Good work from him. Out wide to Kyle Matoma. Pedro wants it inside the box. Matoma goes for goal. And it was easy in the end for Dean Henderson. And Dean Henderson, as some of these shots from Brighton today have been easy. It's like a practice match in training where you don't really want to try. You actually want to make sure you win every game you're involved in. It's like your training exercises for Crystal Palace when Brighton come forward. It's just either passing it back to the goalkeeper. And Crystal Palace will make a substitution. Number 19. Will Hughes was just recently being booked. He's coming off. And David Ozzo, number 52, will make way. Came under the Etihad for Crystal Palace as well. 2-2 draw there. It remains 1-0 Crystal Palace. What can Crystal Palace do if the ball is played forward? Can they keep hold of it? No. Gilmore, good footwork. And now Crystal Palace can try. I've got to try and get back in numbers as Inshallah comes up over halfway. As Brighton trying to attack now. Van Eyck. Good play this as Brighton will try and come forward. How wide it goes to McTermott. How McTermott goes in field. Still going McTermott. He goes down. No free kick given. He plays the ball away. Elise is there. He tries to get this ball away. What can Elise do here now? Klein clears it downfield. Out of play for yet another throw-in. Brighton, most points from losing positions most this season with 12. Only one team higher than them is Liverpool with 18. Villa with 11 and West Ham with 10 in the Premier League this season. Can they make it? We're looking for some 13 as we hit the hour mark now, which I'll reveal the answer to the question, the trivia which I set to you a few moments ago. That trivia. As the ball comes in and Henderson can claim it with comfortable ease. Pascal Gross with the ball into the box yet again, and it's been disappointing for him. Wilson has took charge of 9 out of 10 managerial meetings against Brighton with Crystal Palace. Won 3, drawn 3, lost 3 with the Eagles against the Seagulls. He lost 1 game, but who with? The answer I was looking for was Watford. Congratulations to Luke, who got that one spot on. The next and final trivia will be on the 75th minute. As we see, Brighton still trailing by a goal to 0 in this game. Nothing really much is happening in this game as Van Eyck can try and fetch this ball forward. If you're listening back on the replay and you do get the trivia questions right, then congratulations to you. Unfortunately, you won't be able to be given a shout out by me because you'll be listening back to the recording of this commentary. As here comes Van Eyck forward now for Brighton. Good bit of play to Benny Welbeck. Buonanotte now. Welbeck, Buonanotte again. Through the legs of Lerman. Now for Welbeck inside the penalty area. Now just outside the penalty on the right hand side. He takes the ball out of play and behind for a goal kick to Crystal Palace. And that is good bit of movement there this afternoon. Crystal Palace 1, Brighton Hove Albion 0 is the scoreline. As we see a shot of Inshalwood there, who's just looking on as he tries to see if he can make any changes. As we see Crystal Palace trying to get forward with Van Eyck, and Brighton just cut them out and will try and counter-attack. What can Crystal Palace do here now? We've got a goal now, which is more than one we got on Monday night. On Sunday afternoon, should I say, my commentary match there. One towards a penalty. Insured up on the attack now from Brighton. In towards the penalty for Buonanotte, cleared away for a throw-in. He will look for the ball to come back to him. He gets the ball back. Inshalwood goes well. Into Gilmore. Back to Inshalwood from the throw. Van Eyck now. Pascal Gross. Van Eyck. Van Eyck. And now Van Eyck will find Duncan, find Igor. Van Eyck again. Good crossfield pass. He had a bit of time there, but poor execution. It was a good idea, just poor executedly. McTermott gets the ball forward. There's a penalty. Brighton just crowded out in there. And like Lisa tried to come forward. Igor has the ball back for Brighton into Gilmore. Gilmore out wide. Wonderful bit of play. Inshalwood. Van Eyck. Gilmore once more. Dunk. Igor. Good bit of play out wide. He goes again. Towards the penalty area. Breaks on the edge of the box. Let's go, Gross. If you couldn't win, not a shot. He's blocked. Comes back out. Shot is saved again. That's a good effort this time. Isherwood puts the ball back in. Welbeck's in there. Lemed's clear. Only towards Lewis Dunk. Will never strike a goal. No. Towards João Pedro, edge of the box. Turns. João Pedro still going. And he's crowded out in the end. And he goes behind for a goal kick and put end to that Brighton attack, which looked very, very promising just then. Gilmore with the strike, which was saved and pushed away by Henderson. As we just see that again from this angle, decent effort for Henderson to push away very, very well, but nothing really troubling Henderson as much tonight. Henderson's opposite number in the Bruggen tonight as Crystal Palace look to make more changes. As we just see a shot there of Richie Eze, who's about to come on for Crystal Palace in the near future. Maneke can find Igor. Into Gilmore. Good play. Gilmore, how wide it goes. What can they do with it? Down the line he goes. Can get the ball into the penalty area. Gilmore with the ball in. Sherwood in the back post. And blazes it over. And Sherwood, really all he had to do was just side-foot it into the back of the empty net. And he was just leaning back. I think he was just behind him actually as well as it came in. He had to stretch for it and just going to keep it down in the end, and he went over the top. Crystal Palace 1, Brighton Hove Albion 0 is the scoreline in the Premier League on this Thursday evening Premier League football. Head away from Van Eyck. Mitchell's there. Richards is there too. All the way back to Henderson. What can Henderson do here? No shots. They take it off from Crystal Palace. Poor showing from them despite them leading by a goal to 0. Free kick. Foul on Igor. Referee was quick to give that linesman helped him out by flagging free. Michael Lisa didn't think was the right call. Neither did I, to be fair. It remains Crystal Palace 1, Brighton Hove Albion 0. What can Brighton do now? Lewis Dunk can finish his ball forward. What can they do here now? Here is the coverage of ball from Dunk. He's played in towards the penalty area looking for Pascal Gross. Klein's there to clear the ball away. Flicked further forward by Elises. Mateta can try and get away from Dunk, but Dunk does absolutely fantastic to get back and cover up. Igor now can fetch his ball up and over halfway unchallenged. Out wide to the left hand side and Kyle Matoma. Matoma goes down the line into towards Danny Welbeck, who's onside as well. Good work from Danny Welbeck to stay onside as he attacked down that far side. Brighton still trail by a goal to 0 after 68 minutes. You're listening to the home of alternative commentary, the commentary of 07 commentary of 2 JB Sports. And Brighton almost. The neck shot is blocked. And Crystal Palace can come away with possession. Henderson almost made a mistake there. It's now Ayew can finish the ball away the goal scorer. Jordan Ayew going one way, then the other. All the way back to get you. Lets the ball roll underneath his foot into the path of Henderson, and now Brighton can come forward. Have to get back in defensive duties. As Palace will try and turn them over and try and get forward to get into the lead. What can they do here now as Crystal Palace look to get forward? Here's Elise in towards the penalty. McLeese is still going. How wide? Are you back? He goes to Mitchell. Because he's blocked. Down for a corner. He didn't know he's going down for a goal kick. I thought that was a corner. Former Leeds man James Moon on the bench. So this is a corner. You see this crossing again. But Henderson dropped it again. Fumbled it. And then Isle broke. Then Henderson almost got punished. Now Crystal Palace make another change. This is Beriche Eze come on. He replaces goal scorer Jordan Ayew. Crystal Palace. It remains 1-0 to the hosts. 20 minutes left to play. So 70 minutes on the clock. What can they do is Crystal Palace look to give that passing behind. João Pedro couldn't keep the ball in play, but he put it out for a throw-in rather than they go down for a goal kick. Akil Howson put the flag up for offside anyway. There's João Pedro, and let's look at this again. Is he? Yes, he's just straight offside. Good decision there from Akil Howson to put his flag up, as he was definitely in an offside position to work by the assistants. And can you actually believe it? We're actually praising the match officials tonight. And that's a free kick there for Crystal Palace. No booking required. For and Brighton are complaining here that Crystal Palace are time wasting, and Henderson was taking his time to come and take this free kick, and it was absolutely spot on. It was time wasting there. Because Palace had two players around it that could have took it. And they both waited for the goalkeeper to come and take it. And here come Brighton on the attack now. Isherwood inside to Billy Gilmore. Gilmore does well. Billy Gilmore does fantastically well. Here's Igor, who's getting up well in support on that left-hand side. Ball played in towards penalty. João Pedro's shot is blocked. Thrown into Welbeck. Shot from Gross is blocked. Van Eyck heads it into the path of Dunk back into Van Eyck. Van Eyck to Dunk. Brighton look to build an attack here, a rare attack. How wide it goes into the path of Isherwood. Good play for Kunda Buenanotte. Good movement. Gilmore. Poor crossing from Billy Gilmore. And it was almost out of play. On 32.5 minutes gone, it remains Crystal Palace 1. Brighton Hove Albion 0. If you're just tuning into us, and this second half really has been poor, I would say, in terms of the action in the way the first half was. As Adam Lallana, formerly of Liverpool, is about to come on. There's James Milner, I mentioned earlier on, the former Leeds United player, made his debut when he was 6, who scored his first goal in senior football at the age of 16 against Chelsea for Leeds United. Manager at the time for Leeds, the late great Terry Venables. It'll be interesting to see who comes off here for Adam Lallana. I'd probably say Pascal Gross maybe, but he's then taken off a creative spark for Brighton. But Pascal Gross hasn't really got into the game much today, which is why I would suggest him. Here come Brighton now on that far side. Good bit of movement in towards the back post. Isherwood is there. Shot is blocked. Comes out to Pedro. Isherwood with a Buenanotte, and claimed easily by Henderson on the end. He just fell into. Even if I was in there, what I would have done if I had a cap on as well, I would have took my cap off, put the cap on the ball, and then they wouldn't know where the ball had gone. and then I'd pick up the ball and continue playing the game. Igor intercepts trouble, then Elise just wants to pickpocket him and try and get away from him, but Igor gets back in front of him. No foul by Michael Elise as he tries to put Igor under pressure. Nothing given in terms of a Crystal Palace throw-in, which Elise wanted as substitution is being made with Ishelwood going off. The young right back will be replaced by number 14, Adam Lallana. In this game, it remains Crystal Palace 1, Brighton 0. Final 15 minutes of the game. If you just tune into us, as Brighton will see yet another throw-in. Shortly, we'll give you our player of the match. That was a foul throw from Igor, which was punished and got jeered by Crystal. Ironic cheers by Crystal Palace fans, as Palace and Brighton fans don't like each other. Igor is there, at least they're there too. Brighton can't keep the ball in play, breaks out for a throw-in. Michael Elise sees Crystal Palace leading by a goal to nil. It is cross and Isles for Io to head home, which made it 1-0. We'll keep you up to date with. There's been a League One game tonight. Derby County were playing early. We'll keep you up to date with how Derby have gotten after we watch this attack from Crystal Palace. As the ball is forward out for a goal kick. I can tell you that currently Derby leading by 3-1 against Lincoln City in League One tonight. Michael Squires Lincoln City up against Paul Warren's Derby. Conor Uran, Kane Wilson, and James Collins with the goals for Derby, with Daniel Mandrieu on target for Lincoln. As Crystal Palace will try and come away with possession, but they've considered a free kick. Adam Lallana got to make a point there, and the referee when it's having it. Van Ecken out for Brighton. What can they do here, Brighton? You can try and come forward with possession. Lewis Dunk does well. Here's Van Eck. How wide it goes to Gilmore. Inside to Van Eck. Good play. Eye goes there. Gets the ball forward. Cleared away. And now Brighton can counter. Here's Mateta for Palace, who is now on the counter attack. Eze is onside. Eberici Eze to make it 2. Shot is blocked. Comes back to Eze. Can he get it? Can he get another striking on goal? He can't. Still going to Eberici Eze. Eze still going. Twist one way than the other. Lays it off. Ball breaks towards the penalty. Goes behind for a corner to Crystal Palace. And this is good play from the hosts. Brilliant run. Mateta out wide. Richie Eze shot is blocked. Comes back to Eze. And then he can flinch under control. And is now bounced behind for a corner to Crystal Palace. 78 minutes on the clock. We've got 78.5 minutes on the clock. It's Brighton who still trail by that goal to 0. Corner flicked in. This one ball. Eze fires it just wide. And he's not happy that therefore went the wrong side of the post that he was aiming for. There was a good chance in there. But it remains 1-0. Mateta, no many chances in the second half of the pass. Mateta fires over. And Crystal Palace will have other chances in the second half, which have been few and far between. 2 just then. Not many others before that. They can't take the chances, and if they're going to miss chances like that and can't take them, Brighton may well punish them later on. I'm going to give you the final trivia question in just a moment. And regarding one of the players who's been involved tonight. Here's Kalmatoma, penalty, it's still good. Kalmatoma goes down. Is that a penalty to Brighton? No, says the referee. Then Henderson fishing back up and pushing him outside of the penalty area. Henderson, very lucky the referee didn't see that, because he would be in trouble there. This is Mateta. Let's go in the ball for Dunn got there first. What can this Brighton doing now? Pascal Gross goes through the field. Goes through a pass for Kalmatoma first time. Saved by Henderson. And that's never which just went wide. Went straight down the throat of Henderson. We're just looking at this again from Matoma. Slipping. Just on his feet. Does he get caught second time? Oh, that could have been a penalty, It wasn't for me, mind you, but I've seen them given, though, in those kind of situations. I'm going to ask you a trivial question very, very shortly regarding Roberto De Zerbi, guys, and Brighton. So left Gilmore through. Brighton have a striker. Welbeck, shot is blocked. Eze can clear as Brighton will try and come forward. Igor will work here. Igor coming forward again. Van Eyck. How wide it goes. Russ delivers the ball in. Welbeck said it! Welbeck has scored! Danny Welbeck has equalised! How is he scored from there is beyond me. But Brighton are back level. Fantastic header from Danny Welbeck. But you've got to be questioning Henderson. How is it Welbeck scored from that position? How is he scored from that position there? He shouldn't be scoring from the edge of the box. Defenders need to do better. And so do and so does the Crystal Palace goalkeeper. Yakamura has just come on. Just trying to work out who's gone off. Haru Mitoma's gone off. The Yakamura. Just saw Mitoma set in the dugout. And now can Brighton turn this game on its head? The trivia question is coming shortly. Buonanotte is coming forward. Can Buonanotte do well here? Lallana. Maneka. The next trivial question will be about Brighton and about one of the players from Brighton. Here is Yakamura. Pascal Gross. Manek. Manek still going. Goes outside the penalty on John Jamal Gay. No penalty given. Right, the next trivia question, which I'll reveal the answer for after the full-time whistle, is this one. Lewis Dunk has appeared 14 times against Crystal Palace, 11 of them in the Premier League, and all those 14 are for Brighton. He was sent off twice to Selhurst Park as well in the Championship defeat in December 2012 and the Premier League 1-1 draw in the Premier League in October 2020. What I want to know is, when Lewis Dunk was sent off in the Championship defeat in December 2012 at Selhurst Park, what was the final score? So when Lewis Dunk, who's played 14 times for Crystal Palace or for Brighton, was sent off in December 2012 at Selhurst Park in a Championship game, what was the score? What was the scoreline? He lost that game. Brighton lost that game, but what was the scoreline? See if you can get it. As the free kick message comes in, flicks on. Welbeck was in there. João Pedro in there too. Well, Crystal Palace managed to clear, and he comes for Bruggen. What can Brighton do here now? Luke's give me an answer to his question. To the question, what was the score? Just to repeat the question, if anyone's just tuned in and missed it, for this trivial question, last trivia question of the evening. Crystal Palace against Brighton. Lewis Dunk has played 14 times against Crystal Palace, all for Brighton. 11 of those have been in the Premier League. He was sent off in a Championship defeat back in December 2012. I want to know what the full-time score was. He was also sent off in the 1-1 draw in the Premier League in October 2020. But what was the defeat? What was the scoreline in December 2012 as Brighton, after trying getting down here, as Gay goes down? No free kick, is it? Yes. Free kick is being given. Margate has won his head a free kick there. Very, very soft free kick as well. I'm just looking at this again. There's not enough for him to go down there. And for me, he's looking for that. Margate. Paul, if you think you know the answer, what was the score between Crystal Palace and Brighton back in December 2012 when Lewis Dunk was sent off for Brighton? It was in the Championship. What was the final score there? See if you can guess. As Gay knocks it back, Twenson clears long, first time straight back down the field, and he will come back at him as Dunk finds Welbeck for Buonanotte. Buonanotte chips the ball over the top for Welbeck. Anderson's there to clear away, comes out for a shot which is blocked by the substitute Yakamura. And he's out of play for a throw-in out to Crystal Palace. My player of the match will be announced shortly. João Pedro's shot was blocked by Joachim Anderson. The player of the match will be announced very, very soon here on the TC Hub and all our partner platforms. We'll bring you who gets player of the match shortly, and that's our trivia questions soon as well. See if we get another answer in here. Yes, that would be cheating, Paul. Have a guess if you want, mate, of a scoreline. What do you think the score was that day? Doesn't matter if you want, Paul. It's all for a bit of fun. As here comes Brighton with Welbeck. It's Welbeck on the head. Oh! Just goes wide. And Dean Henderson was very, very lucky. Now that did not rebound the right side of the post for Brighton. And that has just bounced wide, and we'll give you the player of the match now. And our player of the match here on the Hub this evening despite his mistake, which he just did then and almost got punished for, was Dean Henderson. Pulled up some fantastic saves to keep Palace in this game as he gets a yellow card for time wasting. Just Dean Henderson, who gets our player of the match, pulled up some fantastic saves, especially in the second half, to keep Palace in the game. There was nothing he could do about the header from Danny Welbeck. Maybe he could have tried just moving across there a bit quicker, potentially, but right in the corner is the defender's job, who should have been marking him. Welbeck, which was the problem for the goal as opposed to the top. Danny Welbeck's in there again. Welbeck is still the penalty. Danny Welbeck strike a goal and just into the crowd behind the net and into the top of the stand back there as we enter the stoppage time, which we'll see in a moment how many minutes has been added on at the end of this second period. We wait to see that, and we now get confirmation we have got 5 minutes at a time at the end of this game. We'll give you the answer as soon as the final whistle goes what the score was. Here's Pascal Gross for Brighton. Can Brighton win it? Ball's played forward. De Zerbi looking to cap his 50th game in charge of Brighton in the Premier League with a victory tonight. And Roberto De Zerbi have done a remarkable job continuing off what Graham Potter did when he left for Chelsea. Van Ecke, what can he do here? Brilliant bit of work as for coming up when Anote drives forward. How wide is Adam Lallana? Adam Lallana still going. Brilliant bit of full work out wide. Yao Pedro. Good work here. Into Lewis Dunk. Now Van Ecke. How wide it goes. But too much on it for Pascal Gross to go and end of it there. Mitchell to take the throw-in. Anywhere will do now for Crystal Palace. What can Crystal Palace do here now? Can they get a late winner? Mateta pumping the crowd up. Here is Mitchell. Good bit of work. Jefferson Lerma. Last chance now for either of these sides. If a goal is scored in these next few minutes, it will probably be the winner. But unlike my last game, we had goals in it. Eze finds Lerma. Now Richards. Chris Richards does well. How wide it goes to Michael Elise. Attacks up against Igor Julio. Now here is Joachim Anderson to Michael Elise up against Julio again. What can they do here with it? Anderson once more. Chibofo looking for Michael Elise. And there's the header back by Lewis Dunk. But the Bruggen just brought it out. Brighton wanted to be run out a bit quicker. So they're playing out from the back. Van Ecke. Good ball. Igor. Now down the line it goes to Lallana. Further down the line is João Pedro. Breaks now for Igor. Igor comes forward. How wide is Lallana? Good ball forward by Dunk to Welbeck. Can't keep hold of the ball. And Welbeck's got the ball back. Brighton lost it again. And Van Ecke just gets bad there to tidy up into the final knockings of this game now. Final closing stages. 1-1 is the scoreline. Probably a fair reflection on the game. Here's Lallana for Welbeck. Buonanotte. Lallana. Palace can try and break it from where this well. Eze loses out to Vaneka, who turns away from the Buonanotte now. So it's going to Buonanotte. How wide it goes. Igor coming forward. Last chance to now. He's now on if Brighton ought to win this. It's out wide. Pascal Gross. Vaneka with the cross in. It's blocked. He breaks now into the path of Gross again. Back to Bart Verbruggen. Dunk. Vaneka. Dunk just over halfway. In midway inside the Crystal Palace half. Favour out wide to got Julio. Back into Lewis Dunk. Vaneka now has it. We're about 25 yards out. Out wide to Pascal Gross. Back to Verbruggen. Lallana. Welbeck. Will we get a winner? Igor. Push it in. Gilmore away. Referee not looking at his watch yet. Dunk. I got Julio again. Here is Billy Gilmore. Lallana push off Billy Gilmore. It's over and into the crowd. And there is it. The full-time whistle is blown. And it's full-time. It's Crystal Palace 1, Brighton Hove Albion 1. Jordan Ayew with the opening goal in first half stoppage time. Put Crystal Palace into the lead with Danny Welbeck header from the edge of the penalty when he really shouldn't have got it in from there. Makes it 1-1 and a draw in the end in the Premier League. And now with that draw, I can tell you, going into the Christmas break, now Brighton remaining 8th on 27 points. Crystal Palace remaining 15th on 18 points. They can drop down a couple of places. Well, at least, no, can drop down one place if Everton win of the weekend, which, where Everton are playing at the moment, I can see happening. Just to tell you what we've got coming up on the channel in the not so near future for your listening pleasure. As we bring you towards the end of this game, we can tell you that coming up on the channel this coming week, we've got Liverpool against Arsenal on Saturday evening from around about 5:05. John Paul James, who will bring you the comprehensive results show, and then the build-up and the commentary of Liverpool against Arsenal. Then on Sunday, from 5 to 1, join Paul James, and he'll have a special guest co-commentator alongside him for Wolves against Chelsea, which we've got coming up for you as well. Thank you very much to those who have tuned in this evening. It's been a real pleasure and an honour to bring you this game this evening. We're in the game, which is finished at Selhurst Park. Draw between the two sides in the 101st league meeting, that is. Crystal Palace 1, Brighton 1. Until next time, it's goodbye for now, and thank you very much to those who have listened tonight.